Yo. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Come on. How's everybody doing? Having a fantastic Thursday. I am. We're going to kick it off pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for being here. Up and foremost, shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. We got JW, we got Michael, we got Flame, we got Ice Smash, we got Adrian. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here in the chat. Yes, we are talking all things Arizona Cardinals. If you didn't watch or see the title, it's probably why you clicked on it, right? It's labeled, Are we in for a big surprise and massive news here for the Arizona Cardinals as well? Appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic morning. Like I said, I am. But yeah, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. Shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. Smack the like button if you guys haven't done so already. And subscribe. We're on the road to 17K here, and within these last few days, and it's probably because the Cardinal news that we're getting a lot of traction on this channel. So I absolutely appreciate you guys for obviously tuning in and hanging out and enjoying the show. So let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and talk about the breaking news first. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Cue the bell. Right, let's get started here. We do got some breaking news coming out probably about 30 minutes ago or maybe 45 minutes ago, and it has to do with Maserati Marv, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we are still going to talk about free agency, so if you're here to talk about we're going to talk about that. Hold your horses. Let me just get through this here first, because this is massive news all around that Marvin Harrison Jr. and the Fanatics team, which they were dealing with a very, very long financial battle between the two parties, right? We weren't able to get Marvin Harrison Jr. jerseys, right? And that's the big thing that's been going on with Cardinal fans. Like, everybody's like, oh man, that sucks. We got one of these big, generational talented guys coming from the draft, but we can't buy a dang jersey. Now, I understand there is some jerseys that are available. You're able to go outside the United States, or if you got another source, but from Fanatics, right? That's mainly where people go after and get their jerseys, right? They are now going to be available for, well, let me run that back. Now that the agreement has come to an end, right? The jerseys will be coming available soon. We do not have a specific time or a specific date, but with what you know right now, the news was actually broken by, I ended up seeing it on X and Twitter. So I want to give a shout out here to the guy that actually broke the story here, and give him a follow if you want to, but he is on X and Twitter as at Darren Rovell, and that is his name, Darren Rovell. So he's the one who ended up breaking the news here, and it's good, man. It's good overall, because Cardinal fans, we've been dying, man. We've been dying to cop ourselves a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey, and it's coming soon. The legal battle is come to an end, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm just super excited about it, right? We got some people in the chat. We got my guy saying, finally, absolutely, finally. This is definitely a good thing. Jesus Ortiz says, I'm going to buy a jersey ASAP. Yeah, as soon as it's available, as soon as I see it on thefanatics.com, I will let you guys know. I'm pretty sure most of you guys will probably find it a lot quicker than I would. But yes, absolutely. It's a massive news for the Cardinals fan base. We're going to be able to rock the number 18 MHJ. Super excited about it. All right, let's get started here. Let's talk some free agency. Now that we got that breaking news out of the way, let's go ahead and talk some free agency news. Now, I don't know if you guys are on X and Twitter, but man, oh man. One thing that I absolutely do love is I love when our players that play for the Arizona Cardinals are engaged with the fan base. I love it. I absolutely love every single bit of it. Buda Baker ended up posting this about 2 hours ago. The whole Jack Nicholson, that face, like, yeah, right. Now, here's the question. Did he post this because he knew about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s jerseys becoming available? We don't know, right? We've been so accustomed to seeing tweets right before a big move happens for the Arizona Cardinals, right? We're so accustomed. And that player is from Mack Wilson Sr. The moment he's actually signed a contract with the Arizona Cardinals, this man's been nothing but a great player that is engaging with fans. This is what you love to see, right? So in case there's any player that potentially come across this stream, I want to be the first to say, fans, we love it. We love the engagement. We love that you love that the Arizona Cardinals are getting better. We love that you love that you are engaged in free agency as well. So Buda Baker has always been doing it. Mac Wilson Sr. has been doing it since he got here. Whoever else is out there that by any chance gets a clip of this 1 or 2 seconds, we love it. Keep it going. Keep it going. This is absolutely amazing. So Buda Baker came out earlier this morning with this Jack Nicholson gif. Like I said, it might have to do with the whole Marvin Harrison Jr. licensing agreement. We don't 100% know, but let's see, right? Let's see what happens. Obviously, the Arizona Cardinals have done some pretty big moves. Two of them in particularly, one of them Josh Sweat and the other one Dalvin Tomlinson, which was late yesterday. And I think there's a lot of Cardinal fans that are pretty darn excited about what can transpire in the 2025 season, because we've said this before, man. It's make or break, man. It's a make or break year for Kyler. It's a make or break year for some people are saying the coaching staff. I don't know if it's so much with Gannon. I guess it just depends on what happens in 2025, right? It happens, but this is a big year for Kyler, man. Kyler knows what's in front of him. He knows what the narrative out there is. He knows that a lot of people are talking about, oh, this is year 7. We can't not go into the playoffs now. So he knows, man. He knows what's in front of him, and let's see if he's going to be able to you know to get us what we're all longing for, and that's a playoff berth, right? Fingers crossed. All right, we do got a first super chat of the morning. Michael Evans coming in clutch. He says, cornerback incoming, hoping for more. Monty is a little slow. Let me run that back one more time. I can't read. It's pretty early in the morning for me. Cornerback is incoming, hoping for Monty. So you're just basically saying you think there's a cornerback coming. Monty, well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Before the Dalvin Tomlinson thing, I think a lot of us can say that, yeah, I mean, a lot of us are concerned with what was going on with free agency, right? Especially when you got the third most amount of cap coming into the 2025 season. A lot of us were concerned with the idea that, hey, man, what's going on? Okay, so what's happening? But you bring in Dalvin Tomlinson in, a lot of people are excited about that, right? A lot of people are excited about that. So now what our defensive line looks like, obviously, you got D-Rob coming into a second year. Hopefully, B.J. Ojulari can stay healthy in the 2025 season. You got Josh Sweat with the newly acquisition. You also got Dalvin Tomlinson. You got the two guys that we got last year in free agency. Hopefully, they can stay healthy. Bilal Nichols or Justin Jones. So our defensive line has gotten better, right? It's gotten better drastically. So good things, man. Absolutely good things ahead here for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I'm already seeing in the chat, I believe for the most part, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, are you looking for wide receiver and or corner? Is that what you guys are looking for right now? Hey, I don't blame it, man. I don't blame it one bit. I don't fault it. To me, I don't feel like corner is that big of a need unless you go after a big fish, right? Unless you go after a big fish out there, then okay, I'll obviously be down with it. But I don't think corner is that big of a need. Wide receiver, on the other hand, I would like the Arizona Cardinals to have a different wide receiving core heading into 2025 than we did going into 2024, right? I like Greg Dortch. I'm okay with seeing what Zay Jones can do, but I don't know, man. Something intrigues me with the idea of potentially bringing in a Cooper Kupp. Is the Cardinals in on him? I don't know, man. I don't know. All we can do right now is wait and see how this all going to shake out. So, Buda Baker, please continue to do what you've been doing since you've been an Arizona Cardinal. We love it. We're here for it. Continue with these gives. Continue getting us super pumped up and excited, right, about this offseason, because when you guys are having fun, we're having fun, and that's just a circle of life, ladies and gentlemen. So, are we done with free agency? That's the big question out there, right? Now, another thing that obviously we cannot have a live stream without talking about the elephant in the room. We can't, right? We cannot have a live stream without talking about the elephant in the room. And if you are not on social media, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But there was a lot of speculation about the Arizona Cardinals potentially being in on what's his face? Sorry. Trey Hendrickson, right? So we are going to label this the Hendrickson watch, right? There was some more updates, which, I don't find it to be like new updates, but basically updates to reinforce what we kind of already know, right? Now, shout out here to Diana Rossini, which, this is where we originally saw the information that she provided out. So Diana Rossini ended up coming out and saying teams are willing to pay Trey Hendrickson, right? So there's teams out there that are willing to provide him a price tag that he is comfortable with. The problem that in terms of why he hasn't been moved yet is because Now the Bengals seem to have adjusted and gotten a little greedy. They got a little greedy. So the whole it's going to take a day 2 pick, right? Remember that when we were talking about it? It's going to take a day 2 pick. What does that mean? A second rounder, a third rounder, right? Not anymore. It seems like the Bengals are trying to say, no, we want a first round pick. That's what we're looking for, right? So now the Bengals are trying to come out and try to squeeze a team that is already going to be paying Trey Hendrickson. Now, is that the Cardinals? Probably not, right? Especially when you are looking at what the Cardinals have done with Josh Sweat and now bringing in a Dalvin Tomlinson. It seems to be a little bit less realistic that the Cardinals are going to do something like this and bring in a Trey Hendrickson, right? Like it was already unrealistic after Josh Sweat. Now it's more unrealistic after Dalvin Tomlinson. But, we're still keeping hope alive, right? But I wanted to kind of make sure that everybody's fully aware that per Diana Rossini, right? And this tweet came out, 3 hours ago. I don't think teams are having an issue with paying him, right? The Cardinals might be because we made these 2 moves, but the issue is what the Bengals want in return, and that's draft capital. Now, they want a first round pick. And that's too much, man. That's too much. That's way too much. So, all we can say right now, let's sit and wait, right? Let's sit and wait to see what the Bengals decide to do, because at the end of the day, they might bite themselves in the foot, or in the BUTT, right? Or the ASS. They might bite themselves there because they still need to figure out how much money they have to pay their superstar wide receiver in Jamar Chase. Rumors out there, he wants $36 to $40 million. He wants to be the highest paid wide receiver. So good luck. If you don't get rid of Trey Hendrickson, which also wants a contract extension, good luck. Good luck. Perfect example of an organization that just gets a little too greedy. When you got a team that's going to give you a second or third round pick, you take it. You take it. Because it's not like it's just, and then that's it. And he's going to pay on his $18 million deal. No, he wants to get paid $30 million plus. So he's going to get paid from the organization. And then on top of that, you want to take somebody's first round pick. I get it. I guess I respect the hustle. But at the end of the day, that's one of the main reasons why this has been a standstill. And he's still there, right? So the Trey Hendrickson watch will continue to happen every single time unless he is finally traded to another team. Like I said before, is it realistic for the Arizona Cardinals to go after him? It was kind of unrealistic after Josh Sweat. It's even more unrealistic after Dalvin Tomlinson. But as we all know, right? We're going to be in for it. We're going to be watching. Well, we're going to see exactly what happens. And maybe, if Bidbo wants to do something absolutely crazy and surprise us all and, put another jet, put a pin on that idea, maybe you can help us out here, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. We do got another super chat coming out. We got Joseph coming in with the second super chat of the day. What's up, Joseph? Appreciate you, man. He says, I'm glad we're getting needs. Kime could never. That's funny. Well, I mean, it's been very, very long time that it's funny what one move can do, right? It's funny what one move can do for a fan base. And believe it or not, I've said this yesterday. We don't ask for much, man. We really don't. The Arizona Cardinals, we don't ask for much. All we want right now is for us to address needs. Like, that's all we're looking for right now. And Monti Ossenfort is doing that, which, hey, we can respect, right? We can respect. Now, the draft is another exciting piece that we're going to be following very, very closely, and we're going to be doing a lot of mock drafts moving forward. But I'm really excited, man. This is definitely a step in the right direction here for the Arizona Cardinals fan base in terms of getting the people that you needed to get to. And let's be honest, Dalvin Tomlinson, he was released by the Cleveland Browns. Not that he wasn't productive. They almost kind of felt like, I don't know, like they had to, right? Either for saving money or anything like that. So this is a good player. Is that not that he was released because he was an unproductive player? No, not at all. This is a good move by the Arizona Cardinals. They struck when it was hot, and that's exactly what you should be doing. So I do believe that it is a steal, and he's definitely the best interior defensive lineman we got on this roster right now. And it brings me back to the days of, Dockett and Calais. And I probably wouldn't put it up that high, but we haven't had a guy like this in a very, very long time. So, yes, I agree, Joseph. Appreciate the super chat. Absolutely amazing. So, the Trey Hendrickson watch will continue. And it seems like the Bengals right now are doing everything they can to delay this as much as they can because they want to squeeze the team that is going to give them the most. And I guess I respect the hustle, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're only hurting yourself. Carlos with another super chat coming in. What's up, Carlos? He says, if we trade for Trey, do we get a wide receiver from Ohio State? A Mecca, a Buka. Yo, let me just say this right now, right? I love Emeka Egbuka. I really do. I really do like Emeka Egbuka. If we get one more piece in free agency, and here's the thing, actually, now thinking about it, like now thinking about this Arizona Cardinals team, like let's do this real quick. Let's look at the roster, right? Let's look at the roster. Or actually, let's look at the needs, right? We've mentioned this before. Oh, where did I go? There we go. There I am. We mentioned this before, right? The needs for the Cardinals. I'm crossing out the big needs the Cardinals had since the start of free agency, right? We got our QB2 in Brissett. We got our wide receiver 3. Although I still want the Cardinals to go after somebody. I'm going to be real. Whether the draft or somebody else, there's something about trying to run it back on a wide receiving core that didn't really give us a lot of production. Now I'm not going to blame it all on the wide receiving core. There's blame to go around, coaching staff, QB, wideouts, right? Everybody's got his fair share to blame. But I don't know. I wanted to see something a little bit more. But I did cross it out because we did get Zay, and then we did bring Dortch back as well. Defensive line, I did cross it out because we addressed edge number 1, and that's Josh Sweat, and we also got Dalvin, right? So if the Cardinals go after somebody else, right? So kind of referencing my guy Carlos' super chat here. If we go Trey, which it's pretty unrealistic right now. I'm going to be real. It's pretty unrealistic. But if they do, yeah. Emeka Egbuka, welcome to the air. At least that's the guy I would love to get for the Cardinals, right? Because right now, even with the moves being done, at the 16th overall spot, I don't know. I'm still a little itchy to get another edge of the future. Like, I really am. Like, this is going to be a really, really good, talented defensive line class. But don't get it twisted, man. Right? Wouldn't you rather get the top 3 edge, or would you rather get top 8 edge, right? Like, depends on what you're really looking for. So right now with the moves that are being established, I still think in my mock drafts, I'm still going defensive line, whether it's going to be interior or edge. Primarily right now, I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards edge still because I like Mike Green, man. I understand it. I get the SA allegations. I know he went ahead and addressed those in the combine. And I do like James Pierce Jr. He seems like a beast. And I just really would love one of those guys, or even Michael Williams, right? I would love any of those guys to be in an Arizona Cardinal uniform, and I don't want to get caught slipping. I remember a few drafts back, the CeeDee Lamb draft, right? When we ended up getting DeAndre Hopkins, and everybody's like, oh, we don't need CeeDee Lamb. We just got DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins was what? Already in his mid-20s, although still very, very productive. People almost kind of seemed like they wanted to shut it down, but that was a big need for the Cardinals, the wide receiving core. So I don't want to get caught slipping again. I would love the Cardinals to go best player available, and I'm just hoping that it's going to be edge, right? So great question here, Carlos. If we do go after Trey, I do think wide receiver can definitely very well be a thing that the Cardinals can do. But I mean, some people might say right now the Cardinals can trade back, right? I mean, just depends on who you really ask. To me, I'm still going edge or defensive line right now, or even trenches just in general, right? I'm still doing that right now if you were going to make me pick. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I really am. I'm very, very excited to see what this offseason is going to continue to hold moving forward. And yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Here you go. Shout out to my guy, Fanatics Podcast. And if you guys do not notice, that's an A capitalized and a Z capitalized. Here we go. Love to see it. We need a real number 3. Wouldn't mind getting Cooper Kupp for the right price. Trade down at 16 so there's potential to take a big interior offensive lineman. I don't hate that either. I do not hate that either. Honestly, the beautiful thing is that the Cardinals can go any which way, right? The Cardinals can go any which way right now. So I'm just excited about potentially the Cardinals making another move. Now, cap is drying up. Okay, I wouldn't say drying up, but it's being used appropriately, right? At least in my opinion, it's being used appropriately. The Arizona Cardinals needed to make a interior defensive lineman dog, and they brought one in. Now, it's a 2-year Band-Aid. He's still going to be a productive player if he can stay healthy, in my opinion, right? But right now, a lot of the guys that are, I mean, there's still some names out there. I'm gonna be real. There's still some names that the Cardinals could potentially take a swing on. I'm gonna be real. Like there really is. Like Azeez Ojulari, I'm surprised he hasn't signed with somebody. Right? I'm surprised he hasn't signed with somebody. Now, here we go. We got some news from Cooper Kupp. We got some Cooper Kupp news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and shine some light on Cooper Kupp. And the reason why we're talking about him is because A, he's available, and a lot of people in our chat would love the idea of a cheap deal for Cooper Kupp. So shout out here to Jordan Schultz coming up with the tweet and giving us some sort of insight on what's currently going on. Jordan Schultz has come out and said, the sense around the league is that the former Rams wide receiver Kupp doesn't plan on having a long, drawn-out process and prefers to make a quick decision quickly. Kupp has interest from at least 5 different teams, and the expectation is he'll decide sooner rather than later. It's unclear if he'll take any free agent visits. I mean, if he wants to make a decision really, really quickly, I mean, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. No visits if you want to make a decision really quickly. Let me just pitch you. Let me pitch you on this idea here, Cooper Kupp. Let me pitch you on this idea. Do you want a place that you can play golf? Do you want a really nice place that is very good and don't have to deal with snow? Do you want to have a revenge tour against the NFC West and play 6 games year in and year out? Do you want to stick it to the Rams and say, hey, I still got it, and play with a quarterback like Kyler Murray, opposite side of Marvin Harrison Jr.? You know where to come. Now, I don't know if the Cardinals are in on it. I don't know if the Cardinals are interested in them. But per Jordan Schultz, there's 5 teams that are at least have some sort of interest. I can only hope that the Cardinals have something, right? And here's the thing. If I'm Monty, I'm not paying him a 3-year deal. No. If somebody's willing to do that, or a 2-year deal, I mean, maybe 2-year, depending on the price, right? But I'm not doing a 3. If somebody's willing to do that, obviously you go for what the security is. There is a lot of injury concerns coming with Cooper Kupp, definitely. So I know there's people in the chat saying, "Oh, he's injured a lot." I mean, when he's healthy, he's productive as heck, right? When he's healthy, he's productive as heck. It's just right now, looking at who's available wide receivers, him and probably Stephon Diggs will probably be the best options. And Stephon Diggs doesn't seem like he fits in this locker room. So, former Triple Crown winner, great wide receiver, great mentor. Somebody could potentially help out Marvin Harrison Jr. in some routes, how to get open. Hey, man, I understand the injury concerns are out there, but the veteranness, the pro-ness, being a pro, I don't know, kind of gets me a little excited. Now, like I said before, is it going to happen? I don't know, man. If I was Monti Ossenfort, I at least would call his team and see exactly, what would it take? At least, right? What would it take? That's the only thing that I would do. At least call him, right? At least call him. Got another super chat coming our way. Joe. What's up, Joe? Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the super chat. $5 donation. He says, don't like all this Kupp talk. He's injury prone. And has only had two 2,000-yard only had 2 1,000-yard years. Fair. Cooper Kupp is aging, right? I think right now he's 31 years old. Yeah, I mean, he has had a lot of injuries. He has. Absolutely. 2019, he had over 1,100 yards. In 2021, I believe that's when he won that award. I believe that's when it happened. 1,900 yards and 1,947 yards he had in 2021. In 2024, he had 700 yards. In 2023, he had 700 yards. In 2022, he had 800 yards. Let me ask you guys this. Does the Arizona Cardinals right now have a wide receiver that's even, or another wide receiver outside Marvin Harrison Jr.? Let me make it crystal clear. Do the Arizona Cardinals have another wide receiver on their roster that's going to get you at least 700, 800 yards year in and year out? Anybody? Let me know. Do you think the Arizona Cardinals right now on this roster, and I'm not even talking about 1,000 yards. I'm not talking about 1,000 yards, right? I'm talking about, does the Arizona Cardinals right now on this roster, outside of Marvin Harrison Jr., do we have a wide receiver that's going to get you at least 700, 800 yards year in and year out? I don't think so, right? I like Greg Dortch. I really do. I like Greg Dortch. I like Michael Wilson too. Now, can we only hope that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to finally realize that the passing game is important, right? Are we going to finally realize that the passing game and get it finally fixed, right? Because right now, the only guy that I feel like Kyler Murray has a real connection with is McBride. And I mean, I guess if you want to throw Marvin in there too, you can throw Marvin in there too. But Cooper Kupp, for as hurt as he is, and he's played 12 games in 2024, 12 games in 2023, 9 games in 2022, 17 games in 2021. He's had over 700 yards in every single one of those, and that's not even all 17 games or 16 games, depending on the year, right? Right now, Marvin Harrison Jr., it seems to be the only wide receiver that can go over 700 yards consistently. I mean, we only saw it one time, but because he's a rookie, right? But Michael Wilson, do you think he's got the capability of being that guy year in and year out, right? That's the question. Because right now, I agree with what you're saying. The injury concerns is definitely concerning, for sure. I agree with you. It is concerning. It is. And he's getting older, too. So, I don't know. I mean, we got to look at the wide receiving core in a nutshell, right? And as a whole, do you guys think that Cooper Kupp is better than most of these wide receivers that we have on this roster right now? I mean, he's proven, right? He's proven. I don't know. It's a big question. I don't know. I mean, we don't even know. We don't even know if the Cardinals are even in on him, right? So we're probably kind of beating a dead horse right now. But I don't know. I think it's at least something to consider, right? At least something to consider. At least in my opinion. But I understand it, though. I understand it. Zay Talk in the chat says, "Won't matter. We won't get Kupp if Drew Petzing doesn't know how to pass the ball." That's fair. Okay. Well, that's a different thing for a different day, right? That's a different thing for a different day. We understand that the Arizona Cardinals wide receiving core / passing game, there was a lot of frustration, I guess the best way to describe it. Frustration amongst the wide receiving core, and they were not able to get it right. They were not able to get it right at all. And it was frustrating. Absolutely is. So, Con Bart on the chat saying Raheem Mostert to the Raiders. I saw that. Yep. Jordan Schultz 9 minutes ago reports that the Raiders are signing former Dolphins Pro Bowl running back Raheem Mostert on a 1-year deal. Did I say Morris? I think I just sort of. I didn't. If I said Morris, I apologize. I meant Raheem Mostert. Yeah, he is going over to the Raiders on a 1-year deal. Not seeing the price on here, but I don't think it's going to be anything very expensive or too crazy. I would love some breaking news for the Cardinals, but is there more, right? Is there more? We talked a little earlier that we did see Budda Baker come out and make this post a little earlier with that Jack Nicholson, right? We saw this a little earlier. Is there something else coming? Or did he know about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s licensing agreement? We'll never know, right? We'll never know. So as of right now, where the Cardinals are standing with cap space, nobody's got it updated right now. I've been looking at Over the Cap and Spot Track. Yesterday, I estimated that the Cardinals probably have it somewhere upwards of about like a little over 40, a little under 40. And I'm no cap guru. I'm just using math in my head. And then now after going after Dalvin Tomlinson, I don't know, maybe we don't have very much, right? Especially for Trey Hendrickson. Because we also got to worry about Trey McBride. Are they going to get the Trey McBride thing done? We heard Monti Ossenfort come out and say it is a priority, right? It's a priority, right? Let's listen into what Monti Ossenfort had to say about Trey McBride, which if you've been watching the show, you already kind of heard it over and over again. But let's reemphasize what Monti had to say about Trey.
Josh, I can't really give you a timeline on that, but yeah, certainly a guy that we would love to extend. Just again, back to Darren's comment, to give us certainty of what we're dealing with from a cap perspective. So yeah, absolutely, Trey is a priority for us.
See? Yeah, it's a priority for us. I mean, at least per Monti Ossenfort, it's a priority. But I mean, as of right now, we're still kind of waiting. We're still kind of waiting for the Trey McBride thing. But I mean, right now with where we are at, we've kind of mentioned and kind of just had discussions back and forth, like where would the market be for Trey McBride? I mean, if I were to give an estimate right now, I would probably say somewhere upwards of about maybe 15 to 17 million dollars. And I would even bring it down to like 14, maybe 14 to 17 million dollars. Because I think right now the highest paid tight end might be Kelsey at 17. And then you got a lot of really good ones at 15 as well. So maybe 14 to 17 is probably going to be the range where the Cardinals are going to be paying per year for a Trey McBride. And honestly, of course, man, he's the best passing weapon we got right now. Best passing weapon we got right now. So yeah, for what it's worth, we'll have to kind of wait and see. RC3, what's up, buddy? He says, Mike, I think the Buda Baker tweet means a defensive player. This can be Alexander or Samuel or another defensive lineman. If you don't know what my guy RC3 is talking about, we mentioned this a little earlier here with Buda Baker tweeting this Jack Nicholson gif, which we're kind of used to and accustomed to. Obviously, Mac Wilson Sr. putting some popcorn or something, right? Something very small to get this Arizona Cardinals fan base excited and engaged with, hey, maybe something's coming. Does Buda Baker know something? Or was it just the whole Marvin Harrison Jr. Licensing agreement now coming to an end, which is still good news. This is massive news for the Arizona Cardinals fan base, especially the ones that wanted to get his jersey. Now it's most likely going to be available sooner rather than later. So Fanatics, as well as Marvin Harrison Jr.'s team, the legal battle that's been drawn out for a very long time, has now come to an end. So you better bet your bottom dollar. The moment we see Marvin Harrison Jr.'s contract available, I'm sorry, contract. Good Lord, Michael. Good Lord.
Shame.
I meant jersey. Okay, whenever you see Marvin Harrison Jr.'s jersey, you better bet your bottom dollar. I'm going to get one. I'm going to go and get one for sure. But yeah, absolutely. I hope so, man. I hope so. A lot of people are speculating that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of things or something that could potentially happen with the Buda Baker's tweet that came out. Let me ask you guys this. Does anybody know where this Denzel Ward thing came from? There's a lot of people, for some reason, potentially calling out like for Denzel Ward. Now, like I said, I don't think cornerback is that big of a need. I really don't. But if you go after a Denzel Ward, it's a need, right? You know what I mean? Like if you go after a Denzel Ward, then yes, of course, I believe it's a need. But the question is, where does this Denzel Ward thing come from? Was it just a suggestion? Let me see. What are the Browns cap space at? Let me see. What is Denzel Ward getting paid? I guess that's the question too. Like, where did this thing even come from? Do people just want him? Where's the cap space? Here we go. Let's see here. Let's see. Browns right now have $13 million in cap space. Good Lord. The Browns. Okay, one thing that we should be happy with, lady. We're not Browns fans. That's one thing you should be happy with. We're not freaking Browns fans. So for what it's worth, take that, right? But where did this whole Denzel Ward thing come from? What is he getting paid? Oh, Denzel Ward's getting paid pretty good too. Denzel Ward right now, at least per over the cap, he is paid. Oh, he's got a big contract. He's paid until 2027, but his guaranteed salary stops in 2026. So this is his last year of guaranteed salary if the Cardinals were to trade for him. So guaranteed salary stops in 2025. He's got guaranteed salary of 12.4. He's got a cap hit of 24.5 for this year. And then in 2026, $30 million cap hit. And then in 2027, $27 million cap hit. I'm sorry. So where did this come from? It just, I like Denzel Ward too, and I would love Denzel Ward, but it just doesn't make sense. Does the money make sense for him to even come here? Let me see here. I don't think anybody knows where it came from because nobody's ever really responding here in the chat. Where is this Denzel Ward thing coming from? He's going to get paid a lot of money. If the Cardinals trade for him, it's a $24.5 million cap hit. $13.4 million base salary. Prorated sign-up bonus is like $6.8 million. So it's a lot of money. And draft capital that we have to give up when we already kind of have I'm not going to say we have a great cornerback core, right? But I think we got a solid cornerback core. I think they're solid. I mean, I know Sean Murphy Bunting. I know. People are just rushing. What about Sean Murphy? I know. Sean Murphy Bunting is definitely the liability in it, but we got some really young, talented guys. I'm excited to see what Elijah Jones can do. I'm excited to see what Max Melton can do in his year too. Garrett Williams is coming into his own, and then Starling Thomas V, right? So I don't know, where's this coming from? Are people just talking to talk? Maybe. Why do you feel comfortable with Sean Murphy Bunting as our top corner? It's not that I feel comfortable with him at the top corner. It's just I would rather allocate any money that we have on a different position. Like, I'm going to be right. I'm one of those guys that feel like it starts at the trenches. So to me, it's not one of those things where I'm like, oh, yeah, I love Sean. I don't like Sean Murphy Bunting. I don't. No, I don't. But if Garrett Williams, which I understand he's more of a corner, right? More slot guy, more of a nickel. But if he's coming into his own, right? I mean, give the opportunity to the young guys. Because if you get somebody, let's say, for example, like a Denzel Ward, which I'm not opposed to. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. But, I mean, I would rather allocate the money somewhere else. Like, Starling Thomas V looked pretty solid, right? Not great. Pretty solid, right? Garrett Williams. We don't know what Elijah Jones is going to do. Maybe Elijah Jones might hit it up, and he's cheap. Super cheap. Max Melton's a second-round pick. What, are we just going to not allow him to develop because we're going to bring in somebody? It's just, the money doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Unless you move off somebody else, like unless the Cardinals trade somebody else away, I just don't see Denzel Ward happening. I just don't see it happen. It's just the money doesn't make sense to me. Trying to see right now if there's any other moves that are happening in the world of the NFL. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it, right? I'm not opposed to it. But I don't know. I was just wondering, like, if it was like a real serious rumor, or do fans just want him, right? It might sound like fans just maybe just want him. That probably might be what it is. And that's fine. That's cool. That's cool. JW in the chat says, agree with that, Mike. We should be good at, yeah, I mean, can we just allocate the money and make the trenches better? Because if the trenches are better, way better than they were, our cornerbacks will look better. I promise you. Our cornerbacks would look way better. And maybe Sean Murphy Bunting will look better. If we get some dogs in the interior defensive line or even at edge and harassing the quarterback, they're not going to have time to survey the field. So it makes our cornerbacks a lot better. So for what it's worth, that's just kind of my opinion in the matter. But like I said, I'm not opposed to it. Lucas said, Murphy Bunting kind of sucky. I mean, he's not great. I agree with you. He's not great. I agree with you. He's not great. But here we go, right? Tom G in the chat. Yep, we talked about this a little earlier. Appreciate you for joining in, Tom. He says, I've heard Trey Hendrickson would cost a package of multiple picks, a first round. Exactly. I just don't think it's going to happen anymore, right? Right? I don't think it's going to happen anymore. So the Trey Hendrickson watch, right, what we talked about a little earlier. Yeah, man. Per Diana Rossini coming out with the not that one, I apologize. Yeah, this tweet here. Teams are willing to provide money compensation to Trey. Teams are willing. It's just the Bengals right now are coming out and saying, no, man, we want a first round pick. Chill, man. Chill. It's just, he's a what, 30, 31-year-old pass rusher, which, yeah, he went back-to-back 17.5 sacks, which is great. It's great. It's just, I don't think there's going to be a team out there that's going to give you multiple first-round picks or a first-round pick and then more picks and then pay him $30+ million. Right now he's getting paid 18. So that's going to be a big bump. It's going to be a big bump. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is where it's coming from? Okay. This is where it's coming from. Appreciate you, Sebastian. Okay. Well, now I have something to kind of go. Okay, so it's a sports betting agency saying the Cardinals are favored to. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I just wanted to know where it came from. Okay. Gotcha. Cool. I mean, like I said, if it happens, it happens, right? If it happens, it happens. I just don't see a world where the money makes sense. But if somehow Michael Bidwell wants to do us a solid, because the cap doesn't exist if you have a very, 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 very rich owner that is willing to obviously fork over some money and change up a contract to make the player happy. The cap doesn't exist in that way. But right, we know the stigma around Bidwell, though. We know it. So we'll see. Okay, so that's where it came from. Okay. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much for obviously updating us on that. Let's move on back over to the free agency poll and what the Arizona Cardinals could potentially accomplish right now because they have been pretty busy. They've been pretty busy. They did get a lot of their own guys right back, which honestly, a lot of the guys that we got back, I understand the concerns from Cardinal fans out there. There's a lot of them that are like, man, what the heck are we doing? Um, at the end of the day, I agree. At the end of the day, I do agree. I would love the Arizona Cardinals to potentially go after another wide receiver and shake up the wide receiving core, but we still got the draft. Maybe the Cardinals can go after your favorite wide receiver, right? Or maybe they do go after like somebody else. Maybe they bring in another defensive lineman. And guess what? Like my guy earlier in the chat said, he ended up super chatting, and I think it was Carlos came in and he says, if we trade for Trey, and here's the thing, I don't think it's even going to take just like, it could be any other defensive lineman. Like, let's say, for example, they bring in an Azeez Ojulari, right? Let's just say we bring in an Azeez, right? So we got the Ojulari brothers, you got Josh Sweat, you got the rotational pieces that you need to kind of go in and out. If that happens, or if you bring any other edge, then I feel like it opens up. But right now, I still would love to get either Mike Green, James Pierce Jr. at the first rounder, Michael Williams, right? Any of those guys. But if they go after another guy, yeah, maybe it opens up for Emeka Ibuka to come back. I don't know, man. It maybe does. Maybe it does. But yeah, I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it one bit. Blazing in the chat saying signing Dortch was a culture move. He's a fan favorite, so they kept him here. I like it. Yeah, I mean, and it's cheap too. It's what, $3.2 million? I think somebody said this on my last stream last night. They said, I'm surprised that Zay Jones went for more than Greg Dortch. I agree with that. I agree with that. But Zay Jones, was he a former like first round or second round pick? He's got a little bit more of a name than Greg Dortch, and he went for like $4.4 million. Like, and they're both 1 years. So there's no long-term solution right now for the Arizona Cardinals at wide receiver. But you know me, man. You know I would love the Arizona Cardinals to potentially go after Tez Johnson, wide receiver, because I liked him in the Senior Bowl. I think he looked really good. I know there's a lot of backlash to come along with the Tez Johnson because I'm looking for a wide receiver in the third or fourth round. That's what I'm looking for. But if they go in the second, I mean, I'm cool with that too, man. I'm open, man. I'm open. I'm open right now. Lucas in the chat says, do you remember there was rumors Buddha was getting traded? Yeah. Well, I mean, Buddha put in a request. I don't know if you guys remember. Yeah, Buddha wanted to get traded away. Wasn't the request out there that Buddha wanted to get traded away? I mean, of course, we all I was on Team Buddha. I ain't gonna lie. At that time, I was on Team Buddha. Did I get upset that, he was requesting a trade? No, I didn't, because I understand the player side of it all, right? Like, this is a business at the end of the day. You got to look out for, like, if you don't have a family, if you don't have a home, if you don't have, like, assets that you need to take care of, I don't think you really understand that side of the aspect of it all. But the player slash human aspect of it all, I get it, man. I understand it. I understood why Buda Baker was standing on, what did they say, 10 toes, and he wanted to get traded out because it didn't seem like the Cardinals were going to pay him. They did, right? They ended up giving him something to kind of appease him. So both sides were happy. I'm cool with it. But yeah, no, that was not really a rumor. It was an actual request that Buda Baker came out and he said he wanted to get traded. So no, but I'm cool with the man. He's back. I love Buda Baker, fan favorite there, and I don't think, yeah, he's gold, man. I love Buda. All right, let's see if there's any more updates here from the world of the NFL. Anything else happening? Let's see here. Yeah, nothing else. I think for the most part, will the Cardinals make another move today? Maybe later on. I think we've been very, very. I think we've been very, very accustomed to like the Cardinals make moves in the afternoon, right? That's what it seems like the trend is. The Cardinals make moves on the afternoon. We've been live a lot of times in the morning, in day 1 on Monday, day 2 on Tuesday, day 3 on Wednesday, and now today we are live again on the morning just to kind of see if there's anything else that happens. And right now, doesn't really seem like there is going to be a move. If there is one, maybe in the afternoon, just kind of like the trends have been happening so far. Maybe in the afternoon, the Arizona Cardinals decide to make another move, but is it a big splash move, right? That's the question. Is Buda Baker telling us something here with this tweet from earlier? I don't know. Do me a huge favor. We got over 200 people on the YouTube side. absolutely wild. Thank you so much, everybody. I know everybody's excited for Free Agents and Frenzy, as I am too. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button. Let's see if we can hit over 100 likes on this live stream, which is only 25 likes away. There's over 200 people watching right now. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And yes, right? Yes. I saw a chat a few moments back saying that, I was complaining. Yes, I was complaining, right? So remind me from here on out if I ever say anything negative about Monti Ossenfort. Unless it's a long period of time and I'm not jumping the gun. You just remind me, man. You remind me this, right?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay. Just remind me, man. Just remind me. Right now, Monti Ossenfort has done what he should be doing, man. And that is bringing in the needs that the Cardinals absolutely need. Our defensive line is looking mad different right now. Upgraded from last year. Upgraded drastically from last year, even with two pieces. It's crazy to say, even with two pieces, the Cardinals are upgraded with Josh Sweat and Dalvin Tomlinson. It's a massive upgrade. Can you show Chef Monty? Of course I can. Of course I can. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people use this graphic on socials. I'm not sure if you guys noticed or have seen another account use this graphic. I should probably start tagging the things that come from me, right? Because yeah, people just that's the internet, man. The internet, they take a graphic, but I mean, I do it for my thumbnails too, so I can't be overall too bent out of shape. But this specific graphic comes from me. I want to be clear. This graphic comes from me. There's a lot of people out there that kind of used it. I've seen it already. I'm not going to, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to start tagging my stuff because I've already seen it on multiple different things. Just taking it, man. Take it. It's okay. It's all good. But yep, here we go. Your request is my command right there, man. Chef Monty. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. There it is. Julio in the chat says, what did I miss? What's the news? The big news that came out and is basically the Marvin Harrison Jr. thing, man. If you do not know, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s jerseys will be available soon for the Arizona Cardinals fans to purchase. And I'm going to move this on over here, keeping Chef Monty on the screen. But yeah, breaking news came out probably about an hour or two ago, coming out from, I don't want to mess up his name, Darren Rovell. He ended up coming out and saying that Fanatics and Marvin Harrison Jr. settled their lawsuit. So what does that mean for us as fans, right? That means that we're going to be able to finally purchase his jerseys. It's probably going to happen sooner rather than later. But at the end of the day here, ladies and gentlemen, excitement, right? We're going to finally be able to wear number 18, rock it out here in State Farm Stadium, and I'm really, really excited about it. I really am. Super, super excited about it. So yeah, that's the big news. And then not just that. Another news, if you like rumors, right, is the Budda Baker thing. Budda Baker ended up tweeting this a little earlier this morning, and I think we're just a little accustomed, man. We're a little accustomed right now to these players doing tweets like this, and we get excited, right? We saw Mac Wilson do things like this, and a big move ended up happening. So yeah, so this is another news if you like rumors, right? So that's what we're mainly talking about right now. Here you go. Here you go. RC3 with another super chat coming in here. What's up, brother? He says Cardinals should get. Okay, wait. Give me a second. I got to prepare myself. If you don't know RC3, this isn't the first time he's in the chat. People love RC3. People love his takes. I'm not looking at it right now. I'm looking down, but I want to prepare myself for absolute gem, an absolute gold nugget. All right, I'm ready. Here we go. RC3 saying Cardinals should get Mekhi Becton. Okay, I don't hate that. Cardinals should get cornerback Asante Samuel, draft a receiver, lineman by trading back. Perfect scenario to fill voids. Okay, so here's the thing. Asante Samuel, I'm cool with. I would, here's the thing. And going back to the people that were asking, why do I feel like Sean Murphy-Bunting is going to be quarterback one? It's not that I feel it. It's just, I feel like we're good. But if you bring in Asante Samuel, I feel like that fits a little bit better, right? You bring in Asante Samuel, I'm game. I'm game for that. Absolutely. Mekhi Becton, guard? Hey, maybe. But what's the plan, right? Is the plan, because right now we did bring Evan Brown, which he actually played pretty well for the Cardinals. Evan Brown did pretty solid for us. Now, are the Cardinals okay with Isaiah Adams, which is a third-round pick last year? Maybe it's an opportunity for him to jump up. If not, maybe Mekhi Becton will be that guy. Now, the funny thing, yesterday, Somebody mentioned in the chat that Mekhi Becton is too damn tall. Dude, man is 6'7" and just pure beef, right? 6'7" and pure beef. Somebody was like, nobody can see over that guy. Yeah, I mean, that might be possible, man, but especially at the guard position. But I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. And then we have the trading back option. Well, I mean, as long as Monti Ossenfort is our general manager, you always have to be aware that a trade back is always going to be an option. You always got to be aware of that. The trade back is always an option here for us, right? Always. Here we go. We got somebody just tagging me on my on X/Twitter. Charles Smith, I want to give some love to you, man. Appreciate you. He ended up saying T-Mac. I guess T-Mac is a thing that I wasn't even aware of. I guess I would rather call him T-Mac than McMillan. Actually, that sounds a lot better. I originally heard it from RC3 here. So, dang, get yourself another wide receiver. I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. I would love the idea of Emeka Buka, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Emeka Buka would be dynamite. I would rather go Emeka Buka over Luther Burton, but I do like both. I do like both. But man, imagine Emeka Buka. Oh man, that would be amazing. Just imagine Marvin, Emeka. And we got the Ohio State Cardinals or the Arizona Buckeyes, right? Amazing. Yeah, I love it, man. Let's see if something else happens here for the world of the Cardinals. I ain't mad at it at all. Appreciate everybody for watching here on X and Twitter. If you guys are watching on there, you're not able to watch this on a playback. The only way you're able to watch this on a playback is on the YouTube channel. You can watch it on a playback there if you want to, because they do get deleted from X/Twitter after going live. It's just, I've always been doing that, so I'm going to keep doing that. Let's keep it going here. Asante Samuel's 44 years old. I think you're talking about a different Asante, man. Money. Yeah, Asante Samuel's not that old. I think he's got a dad. Look up Asante Samuel Jr. There you go. Asante Samuel Jr. Look at that. You're probably looking at Asante Samuel, which he probably is 42 years old, which I am looking on Google. He's actually 44 years old. So I apologize. Asante Samuel Jr., which was the cornerback for the Chargers. That's what my guy RC3 is talking about. Asante Samuel Jr. So that's what he's talking about. Good call out, though. Good call out. Let's see here. Omar in the chat says, yes, that's kind of how it works. The more we pay you, the more we expect out of you. True. I don't know if people are... I'm only assuming. I maybe people are having a Kyler Murray conversation in the chat. I don't really 100% know. But with that comment, I'm assuming it has to do with Kyler Murray. Eddie in the chat says, you guys will say every other quarterback with a better record is worse than Kyler. Yeah, definitely. There's a conversation of Kyler Murray going on here in the chat. I'm not getting involved. I ain't getting involved in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Good try, Satan. Not today. All right, let's see. Let's get this go. We got Classy Nasty in the chat. Says kind of excited for the draft too. You should be really excited for the draft, man. Really excited for the draft. Gio says Luther Burton. Luther Burton tough. I like Luther Burton. I really do. But I do like Emeka Buka as well. I'm looking for a certain type of wide receiver. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a certain type of wide receiver. And right now, the certain type that I'm looking for is Luther Burton or Emeka Buka, right? That's what I'm kind of looking for. But right now, with the moves that are made, I still do think trenches. Like that's still number one top of mind right now. Trenches for me. Good Lord. It doesn't stop. Yeah. Where? Guys, I'm going to be real and not trying to be mean. Not everything on the internet is true. Listen to only a few people. Shoot, don't even listen to me. Only listen to a few people, and that's going to be Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, Mike Garofolo, Tom Pelissero. That's really the only ones you should really be listening. Diana Rossini's got some pretty good stuff too, right? You should be like, if there's a rumor you're talking about, maybe, I mean, rumors are always going to happen, man. Rumors are always going to be rumors. That's just what it is, right? Rumors are always going to be rumors. I don't think it's going to happen. So if you're holding your hat that Kyler Murray is not going to be the quarterback in 2025, don't hold your breath. I'm just going to say that. If it happens, then sheesh, my goodness, I would not be. That'd be crazy. That'd be nuts. Lennon, my goodness, he has arisen. Lennon, I haven't seen you in a minute. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you for being here, man. That's been an absolute long time. A lifelong, or like not lifelong, but a long-term channel member. What's up, dude? He says, I'm liking how we're upgrading our defense. I like we can add a cornerback in the draft, if possible, Will Johnson from Michigan. There you go. There you go. And see, I'm not opposed to that either, right? I would rather take Will Johnson if they're at 16, or even Asante Samuel, because it just doesn't make sense. Denzel Ward just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Here we go. Another super chat coming in here. We got Millennial Hero. What's up, Millennial? Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the $5 donation. He says this: we need a physical receiver, a dog. Debo would have been nice, but someone like that. You know, now that everybody's mentioning T-Mac, now that everybody's mentioning McMillan out of U of A, I'm going to look into him. I'm going to look a little bit more into him. You're right with the physicality. You're right. I can't. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm hoping that Marvin Harrison Jr. becomes a little bit more physical, or if he's always going to be that finesse, right? Good wide receiver for us. But the physicality aspect of Marvin Harrison Jr.'s game is definitely something that we would love to see for sure. Hopefully, now that he turns, what, is he going to be 23, 24 this year? Hopefully that can kind of get there, because that's really the biggest knock. Everybody loves Marvin Harrison Jr., at least for the most part. Of course, there's always going to be some people that don't, especially that wanted to get somebody else in the draft and not him. But for the most part, everybody wants Marvin Harrison Jr. to succeed. But that's the biggest thing, man. Physicality. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to look a little bit more into him. And again, RC3 is the man who's getting me on these guys. I didn't even know his nickname was T-Mac. So that's good to know. My main thing was going into this offseason is I need to look at all these prospects that are defensive linemen. That was my main thing to look at. I knew deep down that wide receiver was always a possibility, but I never thought that McMillan was going to be a guy that Cardinal fans want. But I'm willing to look into it. I really am. I'm willing to look into it to see what he can do. If he's physical, if he's the guy that can be opposite side of Marv, hey, man, I don't hate it. So appreciate it, Millennial Hero. Thank you so very much for the $5 donation. Absolutely do appreciate it. I don't even know where this chat is going wild right now, though. We're seeing Kyler Murray's name and trade too much on this on a stream that's only going in an hour strong. Where is this coming from? Where? Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, Shaman. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Please tell me where this is coming from. Please. If not, the shame bell's coming out. I don't know where this is coming. Where is this coming from? I do think it's weird. I do think it's weird that Kyler Murray took down the video that he originally had and made it a smaller basketball video. I think that's weird, but it might be the organization just saying like, hey, like, maybe don't do all that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm only guessing. Where is this coming from? Oh, that's not the same guy. Oh, my bad. Sherman sources his imagination. I don't want to put the, I don't want to have to put the shame bell in, man, but come on. All right. Ring it up. Are we putting the shame bell on? Okay, it's just not. It's not happening. If it hasn't happened now, it's not going to happen. I know there's a lot of rumors. I know there's a lot of teams that probably could want him because of how bad this this draft class is quarterback wise, and there's not a lot of good quarterbacks in free agency as well. Right now, people are left with Russell Wilson and people are left with Aaron Rodgers. They're not left with a lot of good options, right? So Yeah, I don't see my guy come back. So I don't. Who? There we go. Steve Rivera. Who is that? That doesn't sound like Ian Rappaport. That doesn't sound like Adam Schefter. So who's Steve Rivera? No disrespect to Steve, but I don't know if this guy really any validity to it, man. I really don't. I'm pretty sure by now, if I'm pretty sure these big time reporters, or Adam Schefter, or Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo, they probably would have caught wind of it already, like by now, right? I'm sorry, brother. I'm so sorry.
Shame. Shame.
I want to be clear, guys, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things that are happening. So what's TSWA? I'll look it up later. I'm not gonna look it up on a live stream. I'll look it up later, brother. Be aware, everybody, that like the internet is controlled by people that sometimes, and then also keep aware of that, like sometimes you'll see suggestions, right? Like if you're reading or you're seeing an actual thing, like if you're actually seeing something that says it, it's probably just a suggestion, right? They're probably like, hey, my Jets are looking for a quarterback. I'm suggesting the Cardinals should go after Kyler. That's a suggestion. It's not real. It's not sources. It's like me coming out and saying, these are my top prospects, or these are my top targets that I want the Arizona Cardinals to get in free agency, right? I'm not saying I got sources. I'm just saying these are the guys I would love the Cardinals to bring in, right? I'm not saying I got that. So that's just be aware, man. Just be aware of what's going on. You know what I mean? Just be aware. All right, let's see. Let's do another quick update here of the X/Twitter world to see if there's anything else going on of the world of the NFL. Oh, so the Titans have got a new QB, backup QB, but they ended up getting Brandon Allen on a 1-year deal. So they got themselves a new quarterback. The Chargers have agreed with a defensive tackle to Sean Hand on a 1-year deal. Cool. Yeah. If I'm going to be real, ladies and gentlemen, the Cardinals probably, if they are making another move, right? Big if they're going to be making another move, then probably look maybe more towards the afternoon if the Cardinals are going to be doing something, right? Let's see. Of course, videos will be coming out. We are having content coming out of your ears, especially from here on into the NFL draft. So make sure you stay locked on to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Do me a huge favor, ladies and gentlemen, smack up the like button here on your way out. We are going to be closing up shop on the road to 17K. Can't do it without you guys. So smack up the like button, subscribe on here as well. If you're watching us on X and Twitter and you want to watch us on a playback, you're going to have to watch it here on the YouTube side. And I'm telling you, the YouTube side is a lot funner than X and Twitter. I'm going to be real. So for you Twitter people that are just watching, come on over to the YouTube side. The chat here is popping, man. It's popping. We got but with the super chat closing us off. He's saying K1's too small. Runs for his life so hard he isn't getting KO'd. Well, I hope you guys been watching long enough, right? I hope you guys been watching long enough to know that I agree that this is a big year for Kyler, right? Hope you guys been watching long enough to know that I even have said multiple times this is a big year for Kyler Murray. Massive year for Kyler Murray, right? So I understand it, right? The frustration comes from me too as well when it comes down to the crashing and burning at the end of the season. This is a big year, man. It's an absolute big year. So don't take my optimism about 2025 with the players that we're adding. Don't take that as I'm a fanboy. Let's just leave it at that, right? Don't leave it at that. So, but I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so very much for the $2 donation. Absolutely appreciate it. We are sitting right now with 98 likes. So that means 220 people are watching right now, and they have not smacked the like button. Ladies and gentlemen, smack up the like button. Subscribe up to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. I appreciate everybody for being here, tuning in. Make sure your post notification bell is on in case we do drop another video with breaking news, anything like that. I'm still hoping for Cooper Kupp, fingers crossed. I'm still kind of hoping for Trey Hendrickson, although I feel like it's an absolute long shot and it probably won't happen. But there's definitely still some moves to be made out there if the Cardinals choose to do so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your day. I most likely will see and hear from you guys a little later on as well. Have a great rest of your day, as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals. you.